It's pretty easy for me to feel lost right now. I'm 25 years old, and although others may say that there's still plenty of time, I can't help but feel like I'm falling behind. And that's not to say that I haven't figured some things out, like how I'm a naturally analytical person with creative pursuits, how I'm not lazy but easily distracted, or even that I'm really not a morning person. The last one could just be a limiting belief, but point is, I thought I'd have a lot more figured out by now. These past few months have been quite turbulent for me. In this time, I quit my full-time role as a product manager, came back from a 3-week camper vanning trip around New Zealand, and I also moved back in with my parents. A friend recently told me that moving back in with your parents is somewhat of a rite of passage these days, so I guess it was bound to happen. Being back in my childhood room after 2 years has left me feeling a mix of pride and confusion. I'm proud of the person I've become since I've left, but at the same time also confused because I still resonate with the kid who grew up in this room. As you can imagine, I've had a lot of time to think, mainly about what I should be doing next. When should I look for my next full-time role, and what that even looks like? Should I do some upskilling first? I also do need some money, so maybe I should apply for a casual job too. But this period where I'm not working full-time is rare and should be treasured, so I should be traveling, right? Situations like these come all too often, where there's too many questions and not enough answers. There could also be too many possible answers, and so finding the most correct solution is equally as daunting. And in times like these, I found the easiest thing to do is to delve into distractions. And I don't know about you, but there are so many distractions nowadays. I think the state of brain rot is a real phenomenon, and for me it feels like a state of numbness, kind of like a mental traffic jam, where in an attempt to feel relaxed, the brain feels overworked. It often leaves me more unsettled and anxious than I was before, but it's also very comfortable, which is why it's so easy to do. It really leaves me asking myself, what's the difference between a distraction and a break anyways? The way I see it, it's linked to the amount of information in your mind during that moment of pause. One introduces information, whereas the other subtracts. I don't think distractions are always bad. Sometimes you really just need to be mindless. But in times where you just need to sit down and piece things together, you really need that mental space. Your mind can only take so much input at a time, so I think a true break is when your mind is given room to breathe. And for me, this happens when I write in my journal. I've kept daily diaries for the past 5 years, so I've known this for some time now. It's seeing my thoughts on paper that not only helps me self-validate my worries, but also makes it easier to accept and even find a new way forward. Sadly, with the recent waves of change, it's been really difficult to keep it consistent. But I do want to change this, especially in moments when my mind feels warped amidst feelings of falling behind. So, as I traverse through this quarter-life expedition, I'll try to remind myself to take a step back, to take a true break. So, with a clearer mind, I can tackle life's many questions with its equally as varying answers. And if you ever feel the same way, maybe that's what you need too.